What's going on, people? What's really good? It's your boy Marvlat, and this is the Nerds in the Hood. Folks, fall season is now upon us. Fall TV shows are here. Fall specials are here. September is over, so you already know what's coming now. Halloween specials. And I got the first one right out the bag. We're going to talk about it. You already know the vibes, that Marvel Zombies joint. Needed to talk about this. This was a very interesting TV show for many reasons. For starters, it's very different from the comics. I got my homeboy, shout out to my boy Uni, kind of broke it down a little bit for me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I didn't read the comics. I know it's based on the comics of Marvel Zombies, but I know it's very different from the comics, the animated show and the comics. Also, what I know is that this is low key a spinoff of the actual What If TV show, because What If did one little episode about zombies. It wasn't like ball for ball what you see in this TV show, but it was like similar elements. Um, and maybe this could lead. I highly doubt this will have anything with like Doomsday or Secret Wars, anything that's coming out in the future. But I just know it's its own thing. It was a 4 episode miniseries. It was something interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you didn't see it by now, just notice some spoilers that's gonna be ahead. I'm definitely gonna say some parts of the ending. You know what I mean? So go see it first. 4 episodes. Come on back. See us here, Nerds in the Hood. And when you finish, tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know about the magic that is the Nerds in the Hood. So basically, this is a show, or rather a story, that is just about 3 survivors of a zombie apocalypse that turn into more survivors down the stretch. So we start off. They don't really fully explain, or I don't think they explain at all, what happened in the zombie apocalypse. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I was multitasking, but I know it is Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. It is little Hawkeye, aka Kate Bishop, and it is Ms. Marvel herself, Kamala Khan. Had a brain fart there. So my bad, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so basically, these three were just out. They were just ravaging. They were just scavengers, just getting what they can because it's a zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? They run into a zombie version of Hawkeye. He gives them the business for a little bit, and they get away from him. And they find out that there's other Marvel superheroes that were zombified, and they get active. You know what I'm saying? So now they it's not like they just regular zombies just running and trying to bite you and stuff like that. These Marvel zombies was on another level because they had the powers and the abilities of their actual heroes that they were when they were alive. So like the Captain America was getting active. Thor at a moment was getting active. Um, Iron Man was interesting because he wasn't a zombie, but he did pass away in this universe. And Riri Williams found a way to utilize his body and turn him into more of like her own cyborg. So his head was replaced with a teddy bear head, which was very interesting. Um, so they meet other people along the way. They run into Spider Man, they run into Ant Man, you know what I'm saying? They run into the Hulk. So they meet other people around the way that weren't zombified yet. But some of them eventually do, some of them don't. That much I won't spoil for you and who else they meet down the line. But what I will say is that the big bad of this series is, once again, the Scarlet Witch. This is not her first rodeo being a bad guy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And as we see, it's not going to be the last. And I don't even know if this is an MCU canon, but I do know this is Marvel. So Scarlet Witch is once again the big bad in this one. And she is known as the Queen of the Dead. And her whole goal is to take advantage of a lot of the power that is being absorbed within the world of the living, including the fact that the Hulk was used as a countermeasure to her when he absorbed all of the Infinity Stones, courtesy of some of the sorcerers of Cosmata. You know what I'm saying? I probably butchered that name, but y'all know what I mean. If y'all know the Doctor Strange universe, you know what I was talking about. But anyway, they get him and he becomes an Infinity Hulk with the Infinity Stones. My man super turned up. He got active. They gave him his own little fighting montage for a second. It was pretty fire. Speaking of fighting, the action in this show was on point. They was boxing a lot of the times. There was some good fights, even though they were short. They were still effective, and they did its job. You know what I'm saying? Shang-Chi had some fights. Um, Hulk had some fights. Another character I'm gonna mention had a nice fight, probably the best fight of the whole series. Um, the Red Guardian, people was in there. They was boxing. You know what I'm saying? They was boxing for 4 episodes. Hands were being thrown. You know what I'm saying? And that is what we want in a Marvel show, especially in a show like Zombies, because it's like, okay, yes, there is a central story. There's a protagonist, there's antagonist. All right, we get all that. But there's a bunch of superheroes and some villains. I need to see hands being thrown. I need to see nobody ducking the fade, and I need it to be all action. All action. Even Jimmy Woo was busting the burner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need all action. So that was what I was looking for from this. In this show, some of the characters that you heard were the actual voices that you see in the movies and the TV shows, just like Kamala Khan was voiced by Iman Vellani, who is the actual Ms. Marvel in the TV show, in the movie, in the TV show, movie, all that. I know I did hear Randall Park in there as well. Shang-Chi, the voice of him, Simu Lee, Liu, Aquafina was in that joint. David Harbour was in that joint. Elizabeth Olsen. Paul Rudd was in that joint. Florence Pugh. So they had most of the people that you've seen, but now they're just doing the voices. So it wasn't everybody. It wasn't everybody. But when you hear certain people, you'll know off the rip. I know Thor wasn't Chris Hemsworth. This was like one of the rare occasions that Thor wasn't Thor. But there's one fight I got to talk about in particular. One fighter or one character, so to speak. And that was Blade Knight. That's right, folks. It was a blade that had the powers of the Moon Knight. He had the powers of the Moon Knight. He had Khonshu backing him, and he was out there putting in the work. He was low key one of the best characters of the series up until the end. Um, but what made me upset was one, he wasn't voiced by Mahershala Ali. He was not voiced by that man at all. He was voiced by Todd Williams. If you've heard of him before, or most recently, he was in Invincible, the TV show, as Titan, and he did a good job. He sounded almost kind of like Mahershala Ali, but weirdly, he sounded like the Watcher, which was Jeffrey Wright's character. But it is what it is. He did his thing. I'm not mad that it wasn't Mahershala Ali. No, 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 no. That's not my gripe. What my gripe is was that Blade Knight was so cool in a world where we know that blade, that Mahershala Ali blade, is not coming to fruition anytime soon. Not a movie, not a TV show. We'd be lucky maybe if we get him in Doomsday or Secret Wars, but Blade the movie, Blade the TV show, not happening anytime soon is what I've been seeing, right? And they made this character based off of Mahershala Ali. You can see it in the bill, in the way the character looks. He don't look like Wesley Snipes Blade. He looked like Mahershala Ali Blade, a Blade that we really didn't get to see. I don't think at all. Did we see him in Eternals? No, I think we just heard his voice in Eternals. So it was kind of like, damn, we didn't even get to like really see this man be that character in real life. We've only saw Wesley, and Wesley is the OG. But at the end of the day, it sucked because it was kind of like Marvel being like, you better watch this show because this is all the blades you're gonna get in any capacity, in any variety. This is all the blade you finna get, and you better be grateful because you ain't gonna see it no more after this. So that to me had me like, damn, son. So episode 1, 2, 3, he was putting in the work. Well, mainly episode 1, 2, and 3, it was more other people. So it wasn't really him. What was the guy's name? I think it was Dev Drava or something like that. He was a beast too. There was like a scene where homie had like a shuriken or something like that, or a paper explosive, and he just threw it. But he did it mad calmly. He was like, uh. But then he got washed at the end, which I felt really, really bad. But that wasn't his fault. But it was crazy. But anyway, yeah, so they had different people in there. It was a lot of craziness happening. A lot of dope moments, like the opening scene in episode 2, where Shang-Chi and Katie was running through the streets of San Francisco, and they was just like running through it while the zombie apocalypse was first happening. Like that was kind of fire to me. Um, and then of course, Blade Knight versus a zombie ghost. the superhero ghost that you've seen in the Thunderbolts. That was fire to me. That fight, it was quick, but that fight was effective. It did its job. And again, Infinity Hulk putting in the work on a bunch of zombies and Zombie Thor was fire to me. That was fire. It was dope moments like that that made this show what it needed to be. Now, at the end of it all, we see that the Queen of the Dead, Scarlet Witch, she was pretty dope because she had the ability to be a zombie, but also like change her appearance and look like she was alive. That was pretty fire. So that was kind of cool to me. And then at the end of it all, she needed Kamala's powers, or she needed something to Kamala's that really wasn't fully explained. And then when you get to the end, you realize like there's a moment where she kind of warps the reality and you don't know what is what. So in this world, it's really Kamala and everybody trying to fight the zombies and do what they can to try to, get back to a world of normalcy. And then Scarlet Witch shows you a world where that normalcy was already there. It never really left. Life was what it was. And Kamala woke up to a world where Ironheart was there and Kate Bishop was there, and they was best friends, and they was getting boba tea, and they was chilling. It was doing, girls was girling. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you cut back, and that was kind of fire. You cut back to Ironheart, like, yo, Kamala, wake up, like, come on, this and what you thinking is not real. They're still out here. This game is still real, and then it just ends, and that's it. You don't see nothing else. Nothing else happens. They just cut to the credits, and it's like, so where do we go from here? And that's what made me think: are they setting this up for a season 2? Is it just this? Are we getting? I thought this was just going to be like a 4-episode event, and then we was called it in a day. But now the question is like, are we getting a season 2? Right? What if is over? We know that already. That Oz of Wakanda joint, that looked like it was supposed to be just a one-time thing. I don't know if they're renewing that for a season 2. And Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is definitely getting a season 2. So in the world of Marvel cartoons, we're still waiting for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men 97 to have their season 2. So maybe this might be the trifecta to give us like 3 effective Marvel cartoons, all with season 2s. Like What If started the trend and it was all right. It did its job. But they walked so these 3 shows could run. And the reason why I say that is because Marvel Zombies, the vibes on that, ladies and gentlemen, is that this show is valid. You need to check it out. It was only 4 episodes. It was supposed to just be one movie that was supposed to come on Disney Plus, but I think they wanted to work it out where they got Spider-Man in, so they changed it to a 4-episode thing, which is what it is. Not going into detail about that, but that's what I read. But it is worth the watch. And each episode is only like 30 to 40 minutes, so it's not too crazy, but it does leave some cliffhangers. Are we getting a season 2? What type of world are we in? Is it still a zombie world? Is it not a zombie world? Is her friends outside of just Kate and Riri okay? Is it other friends that she met along the way? Are they okay? What happened to Infinity Hulk? Is he still out there or not? Like, it's different things we need to figure out. There's a real cliffhanger with Shang-Chi that you gotta see. Like, he gets bit by the zombies and his dad saves him, and one of the rings like stops the spread of the infection of the zombies bite from getting all the way into his bloodstream. So he's like a quarter zombie, like right in his arm. But then at the end, he gets bit again. So now it's like, does he become full Shang-Chi zombie, or is he just still like halfway there? Like, what's gonna happen with that? So there are questions that I'm like, what's going on? Now, mind you, in the comics, it's a whole different world. It has nothing to do with no Scarlet Witch. It's a whole different ball game. The zombie virus is explained that the Sentry crashed to Earth with the zombie virus already, and here we are. But in this one, it's just like, all right, it just happened already. So here we are. It is what it is. I don't know if they're going by what the events happened in What If to make this happen, but here's where we at now. And I think it was funny that they thought they was getting help from the Novas, and the Novas was like, nah, fam, you gotta go back. You gotta go back to Earth. Do not come here to space with this zombie virus and spread it all across the galaxy. Get out of here. If you don't get out of here in the next 10 seconds, we gonna start blasting, bro. And it was like, oh, snap. And they did start blasting. They counted down and started just pew, 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 pew. They started wilding, and Kamala had to save everybody because they shot their spaceship up. I'm spoiling too much. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I suggest you just watch this for yourself. But if you want a quick Marvel fix until X-Men 97 comes back, or Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man comes back, or even a live action TV show like Daredevil or something else comes back, this is where it's at. Right now, when it comes to superhero shows, we got Peacemaker still going on, and we have this. So we don't really have much else for new superhero content for a good while. I mean, Gen V too, you got to count that, but we don't have nothing else for a little while. Next year is where it's all supposed to start coming through. Supergirl and Spider-Man and Doomsday and all that. But right now, this is where it's at. We already did what we needed to do in the summer. Now this is the fall's turn for superhero content. So watch it, man. It's another DC versus Marvel thing. Peacemaker, obviously, to me, is gonna get the nod, but still, this is effective and it did its job. So make sure y'all check it out. It's on Disney Plus right now. You could probably catch it on Hulu too if you have Hulu. But if you got both, it don't matter. Just go to Disney Plus. It's a vibe. It's worth watching. Anyway, I still need time to dissect what I just saw. So I'm going to holler at y'all next time here on Nerds in the Hood. Make sure you follow all Nerds in the Hood in social media, on the Discord, in the description below. And I will see you for another review. You already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Check out more of Nerds in the Hood. Catch y'all next time, people. Peace. Zombie.